Hey guys, Ty Lord here with a pickups video. I didn't have time to make one this weekend in my truck, but I'm out in the garage now. Gonna share some movies I picked up and some video games. I found some good ones that I want to share. I watched a few of these movies, and I got some new games as well. I'll get to the games first. Um, First one was the only one I could find at Rasputin's this week, Rainbow Six for the original Xbox. I believe I had this one in a 3-pack with Ghost Recon and Splinter Cell, but I didn't have the standalone copy. I didn't really need it, but I couldn't pass that up. I'm an Xbox collector. Now, these were like the pinnacle of graphics at the time, and they were pretty difficult. Anyway, I have that. Glad to find that. So there was a video game, a retro video game store in my town that I did not know about, and I guess it's been there for 5 years. I just assumed it was a board game and card store. I'm not really into that stuff, the card games and the Warhammer and the board games. But they have quite a few retro games, and I didn't know that, so I've been in there a couple times since I found out. And I made some purchases. They have a nice selection. The price isn't too bad. Anytime I'm in these stores and I see games there right in front of me, I never see them anywhere else. So I am kind of inclined to buy something, especially because I'm in there looking around for like an hour. So I should do them a favor and buy something, so I'm not loitering. Anyway, but I had to pick this up for 18 bucks. Chrono Cross. It's the greatest hits, and it's all complete. It's got comes with a book, old Japanese role-playing game. One I've always been interested in playing over the past few years since I've been getting into RPGs. I know that there's a new one of these, or a remastered. But I'm more interested in playing them on my old PlayStation. Actually, probably played on my PlayStation 3. So I'm going to try to get to that this year. I hear this one's very fun. I'm hoping it's not too difficult. I'm playing a few difficult games right now that are making me frustrated. Anyway, so then I had to pick this one up. These other two, I think this one was 12 bucks. Geo Battle Colosseum. I couldn't believe I found that there. This is one I've always wanted a physical copy of. I've had it for many years as a digital copy on my 360, and I play it quite a bit. But I got this nice complete PlayStation 2 version. This is a mashup of like a lot of my favorite Neo Geo fighting games, and it's like 2-on-2. I'm not really crazy about 2-on-2 fighting games as much as 1-on-1, but it has that. But all my favorite characters from Art of Fighting, Fatal Fury, Samurai Showdown, World Heroes, just a really cool game. I haven't seen the World Hero guys in any other game other than World Heroes, so that's cool. And then another one, I haven't played this one, but I've always wanted it. This was 4 bucks. Jet Li and Rise to Honor. It's a beat 'em up action type game. I remember I struggled with this one because you use the right analog stick to do the moves. You use the left analog stick to move around, and the right one you point it in different directions to do different moves or attack for different angles or whatever. I remember it was kind of frustrating, but might be something to try out again. That's got the likeness of Jet Li, and I'm pretty sure he voices it and all that. Kind of a cool looking action movie. It's not based on any movie. I think it's its own original story, which is cool. I like stuff like that. Anyways, pardon me. So those are the games I got. Then I'll get on to the movies here. I had to order this one. I've been wanting to watch these things forever. I've never seen them. The Best of the Best 3 and 4. I've recently rewatched Best of the Best 1 and 2, and I loved them both. But I was thinking I've never seen the other two, and I found this on Amazon, or was it Amazon or eBay? And I actually ordered 2 copies, one for my buddy at work that's a big fan of these. He was gonna watch them. We were gonna discuss them, but he didn't end up watching them yet. Um, yeah, Philip Ree is back in both of these. There's no Eric Roberts or James Earl Jones or Wayne Newton in any of these. But yeah, these are really cool action movies, though. Philip Ree's in both of them. Really cool lead action star guy. I'm only aware of a few of his movies other than the Best of the Best movies, but I like pretty much every movie he's in. Um, he directs both of these, so he's a pretty talented dude. Um, Best of the Best 3, it really goes off the beaten path. Do you think 2 was different from 1? 3, he goes to visit his sister and his niece and his brother-in-law in the South. Like, I don't know what state it is, but there happen to be these really, really scumbagish group of like white supremacists that kill this black reverend, and they're terrorizing the town. And his brother-in-law is Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore. He's like the sheriff, but he can't do crap. Like, these white supremacists just run over the whole town. Dee Wallace plays like a waitress, and her son's she doesn't have a husband, and her son doesn't have a father, and he's kind of gravitating towards these white supremacists. So there's like some good drama scenes between the mom and the son. Like, she doesn't want him to get into the hate group, and he's oh man, I got to get into this skinhead group. But anyway, yeah, these bad guys are real scumbags. Usually I kind of like the bad guys in these martial art movies, stuff like Bloodsport and stuff, but man, these guys are real scumbags. Like, they kill preachers and try to rape women. So it's really cool to see Philip Ree come into town and start cleaning house with him and doing karate and stuff. And then the third one, or the fourth one, is called Without Warning. It's sort of like and just a typical action movie, nothing to do with any of the other ones. He's battling the Russian mob. The head of the Russian mob is Tobin Bell from the Saw movies. And those guys are scumbags too. This has a lot of like motorcycle racing and fighting and shooting, stuff blowing up. There's a cool scene where he's like in the base or the mansion of the Russian terrorists, and they're like practicing in this gym with their sticks. I forget what art that is. It's maybe like the Filipino style where they have 2 sticks. They're like 2 feet long a piece. They're in there practicing with their pads and gears on, and Philip or Tommy Lee sneaks in there, and then he ends up fighting all of them. It's a pretty cool scene where he's fighting all these guys in the gym with sticks. Really cool though. So I'm a fan of these. I'm glad I picked that up off of eBay. I think I got 2 copies of this for like $18, but it was worth it. Okay, I rambled on about that one enough. Okay, this is not a typical type of movie you hear me talk about, but I had to get this one. This is like a romantic science fiction movie starring Christopher Reeve and Jane Seymour. Sort of a time travel type movie. I wish I could talk about this for a while, but I don't know if I'm going to. A really charming, beautiful movie. He's a playwright guy from the 1970s, which is the present day when this movie was made, and he falls in love with this actress, like a stage actress from like 1912. He sees like pictures of her. He goes to this hotel where she performed at the theater, and they have pictures of her and memorabilia and whatever, and he starts talking to these professors about how to, like, time traveling, like people who wrote books on time traveling. He's trying to to go back in time because he's in love with this woman. So it's like a pretty lovely story. Kind of the antagonist type character in here, Christopher Plummer plays. He's kind of like her handler. He kind of like is she's kind of like a kept woman like this. Her handler is Christopher Plummer, and he's really protective of her and doesn't want her to do anything. And he kind of like she's like his meal ticket. Like he knows she has a lot of talent and she's gonna be the biggest thing in the world, the biggest actress. So he's very protective of her. And this guy comes in from the future and he's in love with this girl. I don't know. This is a really interesting movie. I don't want to give too much of it away, but so like a science fiction love movie, and he's kind of charming, but kind of goofy, kind of a Clark Kent type character. Like he pulls that part off good. It's kind of there's like a little bit of comedy in this, just the kind of the way Christopher Reeve's mannerisms are. Jane Seymour's as lovely as ever. She's like a total package, like very beautiful, very sexy. Yeah, she was one of my favorite Bond girls from Live and Let Die, but also a really good actress. Like really commands the screen. I always liked Jane Seymour. And then it's written by Richard Matheson that wrote I Am Legend and Duel, a couple of my favorite stories and movies. And then to top it all, and then of course the music is composed by John Barry, my favorite composer of all time. And then to top it off, it's directed by Gino Schwark that directed Jaws 2. So this is like a winning combination for me. Somewhere in Time. We're very lovely movie. If you haven't watched it, you can watch this free on Tubi. I highly recommend it. Watch it with your lady friend or your wife or whatever. Here's a Chuck Norris movie I liked. These were $1. It says $1.95, but they've been marked down to $1 the last couple of months. Breaker with Chuck Norris, really cool trucker movie. Sort of your typical like corrupt town with a corrupt sheriff, and they don't like outsiders, and Chuck Norris comes into town and takes it to him with his karate. A few Chuck Norris movies are really good. Like I don't really like his as much as like Van Damme's or Bruce Lee's, but a lot of his movies are pretty good. Like kind of overlooked. Like you never really put him on the same pedestal as you would Schwarzenegger and Van Damme and Seagal, but there was some pretty good stuff like before Van Damme got famous. These cool action martial art movies. Here's the one. I hadn't seen this one in a long time. I thought, like, I was a really little kid when I saw this, and I thought maybe I just dreamt it. But this movie Iceman with Timothy Hutton. It's this crazy movie where these scientists find a frozen caveman like up in, I don't know if it's in Antarctica or the Arctic. A frozen caveman. They thaw him out and he survives somehow. They get him to live and they build this little habitat for him, this little caged in area, and they observe him. And I remember towards the end he escapes. And like they can't. It's kind of like he's like an animal, but he's a human. It's hard for them to contain him, and he's pretty sharp. Like he figures out this area they built for him is not real. Like he finds like the electricity, and he gets out of this place. But I remember it was a pretty good movie. I haven't seen it in quite a while, but anyway, this one I haven't watched yet. Sorry, I haven't watched all of these. I'm gonna try to start watching the stuff I mentioned in my videos. This one I had to get it. It's like the female ensemble of sort of like a what is that, Expendables, but this is with all the female action stars. I had to get it. I saw Cynthia Rothrock was in there. What's her name? Christina Loken from Terminator 3. Smoking hot. And then I saw, what's her name here, Zoe Bell from the Tarantino movies. She's a stunt woman. I've seen her in quite a few movies. I liked her in a Game of Death with Wesley Snipes. And then Vivica A. Fox and Bridget Nelson, of course, are in there. But I haven't watched this yet. But I don't know. If anyone see that, let me know if it's good or not. I had to get a Cynthia Rothrock was in it. And then back to more action movies. Above the Law, Seagal's first big movie. Back when they were pretty darn good. Yeah, this was very cool. Oh, I forgot Sharon Stone's in this. Oh, I gotta watch this again. Holy crap, Pam Grier is in it? I haven't seen this in a long time. I just remember Henry Silva was the bad guy. Okay, I gotta watch this again. I remember this is what like his first movie where he broke out. I think this might even be the late 80s. 1988, yeah. Cool. And then another action one, Wrong Side of Town. I haven't been able to find this one for cheap, but I found it for $1 now with Dave Bautista. This is kind of a cool little like low budget action movie, like set in like urban area with a lot of fighting and sneaking around. I remember I enjoyed this. I rented it back when it came out. That has to be like 20 years ago now, or 10 or 20 years ago. But I remember I enjoyed this. And then the only Dollar Tree pickup was a Cage Fighter. I saw this. I thought I would give it a try, but I haven't watched it yet, unfortunately. Worlds Collide. Yeah, I don't really know much about this. I just saw that Chuck Liddell is in it, and this guy, John Moxley, isn't he a pro wrestler? So there might be cool like pro wrestling and MMA style fighting in this. Oh, and then Gina Gershon, who was in Best of the Best 3. I forgot to mention her. That she was like the love interest in Best of the Best. Where did I even put that? Oh yeah, there she was in Best of the Best 3. I see she's in there. So I haven't watched that. I'll give that a try. Okay, I'll end it on oh man, I was so happy to find this for $1. Eddie Murphy's Beverly Hills Cop, the complete lineup. It's got a sleeve, nice little Paramount booklet there. Look at this. All 3 movies, all clean as ever. Very, very cool. Only trouble is it's PAL region. And I was gonna try to trick my what do you call it, my Series X into thinking it was PAL, but it still doesn't work. I set it up to UK to think it was in the UK. That might work with the games, but it doesn't work with the DVDs. It still says this player will not play PAL region. This is the wrong region, so I might have to get a region-free player. I don't think they cost too much, because there are a ton of movies I like that are not available in the United States. And then when they do come out, they're like on Vinegar Syndrome, and they're like $30, the cheapest. But a lot of movies I like that I can't put in my collection because they've never been released over here. Anyway, but of course Beverly Hills Cop has. I just thought that was for $1, the complete lineup, all 3 of them. I like all 3 of these. Even part 3 gets a bad rap, but I like part 3. Yeah, at the amusement park. So there we go. There's all my movies and games picked up. Picked up this week. So I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for stopping by.